season and a new start, we've been given 17.5 mil to improve our squad and to improve where we are in the Premiership. Let's see who we can sign. So first of all, I'm going to go through the team and see who I want to keep this year and who I actually want to sell. So a lot of the youth academy players I will be selling because they won't develop quick enough in this series. If I was doing a longer series, they would probably be in it, but 48, 58, 68 players, all of them kind of low half players are definitely going to be leaving. Obviously pre-season, I'm looking at which team to join. I'm probably going to start with the 7 mil potential win bonus just because it's more money and the teams look more interesting to play. So I've signed a few players on pre-contract. Gary Cahill, Townsend, Bartley from Swansea, and John Ruddy, the guy that used to play for us for about 6 months and then Tottenham signed him from us. We made a little bit of profit on him a season later and he's come back to us on a free, so you know, we lose him for about 1.5 years and we got him back on a freebie. We're playing in our friendly series against Locomotive. Lucas scores 7 minutes into the game, the former Tottenham player. Lampard misses a penalty. It's nice to see that Lampard's actually playing in this game, and to be all truthful, because of that formation change and all that I did at the end of last episode when you put the keeper up front and mess about with the team, I didn't change that. So I've got like strikers in goal and defenders up front, so I apologise for my free season is really poor. As much as I want to keep Gary Gardner, as much as I want to keep Craig Gardner, they are both on the transfer market this window. We're playing Bayer in the next game. This game, you know, again, it's a friendly match. It doesn't really matter to me. The more wins I can get out of it, the happier I am, because more money, we can sign some better players, I hope. 17.5 mil won't buy too many good players, so I will have to sell some of my players, but my squad is quite big. I think it's about 43 players, so I can happily sell like 20 of them players and bring in a few big players in return. So we accept a agreement of about 900 grand for Gardner, and we argue with Middlesbrough for a little while. I wanted 1.5 mil. I think I settled for 1.2. The third international friendly, I quickly simmed. I apologise on that. Craig Gardner to Newcastle. This is a guy that's played for a lot of Northern Premiership teams. Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Aston Villa, West Brom at the moment in real life. Charlie Austin, yet again getting 1,000,001 offers coming for him, but I'm not selling him. I don't want to. He's a good player and he's got a future at our club if he can start scoring. So Gardner, there he is. This guy hasn't really done too much for us, so I'm happy to sell him. Bertrand, we offer 4 mil plus a player. Gibbs is 9 mil plus a player. This is where we're looking for defenders, right backs and centre backs. This was amazing. So Valencia offered 23 mil for Jordan Henderson. I said 50 mil. And they basically countered with a really good deal. Anton NG, whatever you pronounce his name, is on his way to us. So I offered 45. I thought I said 50. I might have dropped it down a little bit. And they were very close to agreeing to that price, but they wouldn't go near 45. So I argued that. At that point, they offered 44.5. It's not the price that I asked. I asked for 50 mil, and there's no chance that I want to sell him. He's a future England captain, and for me, he's priceless. So we're playing Swansea, and Norton gets sent off 4 minutes into the game. Dele Alli scores and then gets injured. This all happens in the first 10 minutes. Now, for me, after playing this game, I absolutely hate these two players. Number 18 and number 20 for Swansea. Montero, however you say his name. One of them scores in the 40th minute and then the other one scores 84 minutes in and we lose. Dele Alli is out for 7 days, so he's probably going to miss out on the next match or two. Tom Huddleston, we sell him for 2.5 mil, I believe, in the end. He's just not in our starting lineup anymore, and to be all truthful, if we can get a little bit of money for him, fantastic. I really wanted him to be our number 1 centre mid, but it's just not going to happen. That guy's apparently English, so I'm going to try and sign him as a backup striker, and we move on to play Derby in the next game of the Premiership. I forgot that they were a Premiership team. I didn't think they got promoted last season. Darren Bent scores 36 minutes into the game, and from this it looks like it's a very, very boring and quiet game. Dyer scores 54 minutes in. We're 70 minutes into this match now, and it's still 1-1. A draw wouldn't be that bad. I'd be happy with a draw, and it finishes as a draw. So This guy, we go for 5 mil for him in the end. Chelsea wants Cheek back. They want their Lotus Cheek back. I refuse to sell him unless they offer me about 10 mil. So Lanko, or whatever his name is, I asked for 5 mil. He actually signs for us, so he's a backup striker at the end of this episode. We play Newcastle, where there is no sign of Gardner. I can't remember if it was Gary or Craig now that went to Newcastle, or if he even did go to Newcastle in the end, but he's not in the starting lineup. It's 2-1 with Austin the only player for us to score at the moment. I'm hoping that we can win against Newcastle, but with 15 minutes remaining it does not look like it's going to happen. We end off at this point losing another game. There you go, 20 grand a week. I think we agreed to, I offered him 30 and he refused because he wanted to know his job title, and I think we agreed on 25 in the end, and I showed him that he was going to be a squad rotation player. So the last game of the episode is yet another Sims game. Next episode I promise I will be playing a lot more games. I just wanted to get the transfer window out of the way. We are 25 minutes into the game with a Sanchez goal. I got frustrated and simmed it, and it finished this 1-1. There you go, 30 grand, squad player, and he signs for us. We sell Woodman, a youth player, and there he is. That's our signing. So we're moving on to the transfer deadline day. Again, for me, deadline day, I do all my deals before this because I don't like how it's laid out. The 10 hours is not enough. We've bought in 16 mil worth of players and sold 7 mil, I think it just said. 5 hours into the game, we're moving on to, I think something happens around 4 hours. So in the next hour, I think something will happen. If not, then I might get this modelled up. No, yeah, something does happen. There you go. Mark Albrighton, a guy that we only signed last season, we sell for 2.5 mil, 2.2 mil, and that's pretty much all that happens in the last couple of hours. There's one last thing where we sign, or we try to sign, Callum Chambers, and that's pretty much it for transfer window. We'll show you in the last hour of the gameplay that we actually signed Callum Chambers. Apart from that, that's all we've done. So we've bought Bertrand, we've bought Chambers in as our 2 new wing fullbacks. We've got Stones and Cahill in the centre back. Our defence looks a lot more solid than it did last season. There it is, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other content, hit that like button, leave some feedback, and if you're new, why not sub to me?